In Belarus, Polina graduated from the pedagogical college and decided to continue her education at the HU in Vilnius. Suddenly we became HU students. Everything happened so fast. We just came and stayed. At the start it was like we were at the summer camp but never went home. Now she lives in Lithuania and is a sophomore in the mass communication and journalism department. I was looking for a different kind of education. First, I spent 2 years at the HU when it was in Minsk. HU has always offered a special kind of education. Now I continue my study there abroad. Many of the HU students left almost everything behind in Belarus. For them, it was a deliberate choice. Natasha was admitted to the design department of HU the year the university was shut down. When it happened, she transferred to Belarusian State University. I was really hoping that HU would be revived, because it was very different from all of the other universities.
Это другое образование, немножко другой подход.
Yulia successfully passed the entrance exams to Belarusian State University, but 1 week later she headed off to Vilnius to study at the HU. No Belarusian university has a department like this. I mean, this unique combination of communications, mass media and journalism. Why do students choose to study abroad? In order to understand why one must study while in Belarus and then spend a few months at HU. But did you really think long about giving everything up to go and study in a new world? I had no doubts and only prepared to study at HU. I didn't even have a backup plan. In theory, if I really didn't like it here, I could always go back and start from scratch in Belarus. Go back home? No, thank you. Today, studying at HU is just one of many options for young Belarusians, but 2 years ago it was considered to be a real adventure. It seems to me that the situation is changing. Last year we were the first group of Belarusian students to come here. We had to stick together to survive. I wasn't afraid. Things couldn't be any worse than they were. Today I think that's the best place for me. Dasha is studying design. She entered the HU right after finishing high school. But Dima, a freshman at HU's Modern Arts department, first got his BA from Belarusian University. I've already graduated from Belarusian University, and I know our state educational system quite well. It's not very good. I used to visit here often. I loved Vilnius. But living here is quite another experience. Everything is different, not like when you come here as a tourist. Now we have so much to arrange here. Thank God I finally found an apartment to rent. It's tough to rent a good apartment at a reasonable price in Vilnius, so the majority of students stay in dorms. It's great here. A dorm is a dorm. We have good living conditions in our dorm. Hey, I don't want to be filmed here. Usually I eat at the university cafeteria. I don't have time to cook. I think the costs here are even more reasonable than in Minsk. In Lithuania, students get good discounts on public transportation. HU students receive a monthly stipend of €200. It's enough to cover our basic living costs here, but most of the students still look for part-time jobs. Once I worked at the Lithuanian drama theater. It was a very interesting experience. I was a stagehand. One guy from my class quickly learned Lithuanian and now writes as a freelancer for several Lithuanian periodicals. Everything depends on you. Each year teaches us how to be independent and self-sufficient. You come to the university administration and tell them you found an interesting seminar, and they say go for it.
Нам не треба думати об тим, хто підпише цю папірку, коли вона буде підписана.
If our professors see that we want to do something on our own, they simply okay it. As a result, students have much more time for their own projects. The core idea here is that you can do something on your own, something special. It's not like in Belarus, where the system controls everything. You enter the university without even knowing for sure what you will study there. You study for 5 years there, get your degree and go to work. A total waste of time. Here, I'm only sure of one thing. It all depends on me. If I want to do something, then I have to do it right. It's my choice and my responsibility. What keeps me here is the atmosphere. And there are plenty of opportunities here for students. If it doesn't work out for somebody, it's just because he didn't take advantages of what was offered. Unfortunately, there are students at HU who choose not to make the best use of all the opportunities. The university and its core principles are really good. But most students don't care about anything other than a degree. The students lock themselves in their rooms, freak out and scream that they don't understand anything. We had one crazy girl like that, really stupid. She showed no respect to others or to the school. The situation with Belarusian language here is pretty sad. In the current situation, it's possible to teach at least some of the subjects in Belarusian. HU simply doesn't want to. 180 kilometers from Minsk. Is it enough distance to feel like you are in immigration? Vilnius is not the kind of city in which you feel like you are in immigration. Especially if you only study here for 4 years. If you study here full-time for 2 years, you will become part of this country because you live here. But it still won't be your homeland. I don't like it that so many young people are leaving Belarus now. The country is losing its youth. The main thing for us is to have the chance to go back to our homeland. If we could study abroad for a year or two and then return to Belarus, we won't have to get our degrees in a foreign country. It's very sad that we are cut off from Belarus, from the events happening there. But with our studies, internships and jobs, it's very hard to stay closely involved in Belarusian affairs. I think some of us would like to intern at Belarusian independent radio stations. But how is it possible if we are here all the time? In a few years, HU students will have an opportunity to apply their knowledge back in their homeland. But will they do it? I don't know. I can't say for sure whether I will return to Belarus or decide to go somewhere else, further west. Obviously, the state bureaucracy will not take us, but there are private companies. If people realize how stupid the situation in our country is right now, they won't care about the details of our diplomas. At the moment, I can't see my future at all. There will be enough Lithuanian specialists for Lithuania. The country doesn't need us. But it's not my goal to get a job here. Personally, I plan to go back home. Many of us will go back because living in a foreign country means to always be an immigrant. When we return, what a band of brothers we will be. And we won't care whether the authorities will recognize our degrees or not.
Коли будуть люди, з якими можемо робити одну справу, чому ні?